Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and lawyer Nick Rekieta of the popular YouTube channel Rekieta Law has been banned from YouTube. His entire channel was nuked. In the middle of a stream, poof, it was all gone. And no, I don't believe this is right. A lot of people are surprised by this. It's like, hello, guys, do you not know my story? It was actually 5 years ago today that I was canceled. And I'm, in fact, actually going to do a video about that and some more. I hope you'll go support my other channel, Hugging the Cactus, to learn more about that. I'm going to be relaunching this brand with some exciting stuff. So please come on over there and support me as I talk about that. But look, that event in my life changed me. And while I don't always agree with Nick politically, I don't like some of the stuff he said, that doesn't mean I'm not here to defend his right to have a voice. It's so crazy. As someone who is more liberal, that's what we are supposed to be fighting for, is for everyone to have the freedom to say what they want. Now, if you're saying something that's illegal, that's criminal, well, then, yeah, I can understand these platforms, follow through on their guidelines to, hey, you can't be on here because you did something illegal. But what's so problematic about the world we now live in is you say a joke, you say something that's interpreted another way, and then you're mass flagged, and the algorithm is then basically duped by a bunch of people who are trying to use the algorithm and their and things to just basically say, well, see what he means this, see what he said, and suddenly the whole thing is just taken away from you. And I don't believe in that. I want to go through exactly what Nick did so we can all go through it together. Maybe you'll disagree, but I want to play it all out so you can see where things are, because personally, I don't believe YouTube should have deplatformed him. And it's even sicker than that. Not only was he deplatformed, but these people set a mass flagging campaign to the Bar Association to try and get him to be disbarred as a lawyer because of a comment he made on a stream that upset somebody. That's literally what this is about. So let's break it all down so you know what's going on. Before we do anything, I want to clear something up. No, Mr. Boozy, you did not get Nick banned. You had nothing to do with it, sir. And you are such a charlatan to try and always take credit for things that you had nothing to do with. And I'm going to prove it. We're going to break down what actually happened. But Nate the lawyer, kudos as well, bot killer out there, calling this out and how pathetic Boozy is. He's so pathetic that you can't even comment and correct him because he doesn't want to ever see his fans actually tell the truth. He's got to always keep in his little silo of his truth, Mr. Boozy. But no, you did not help get this happening. You had nothing to do with it. So please don't engage. This has nothing to do with Boozy. Who does this have to do with? Well, has to do with a streamer whose name is Keffels. Now, I'm going to play the clip in question. But here's Keffels' reason as to why this all went down. You threatened to line me up against the wall and then doxed all my followers who sent complaints about your conduct to the Minnesota Bar Association. Now, when you see this sounds pretty nasty, right? This is what, and 10,000 people liking. Keffels is a trans woman streamer on Twitch. And, we'll come back to a little bit more about what Keffels and stuff, but when you see this and you're not educated on the topic or what Nick said, yeah, this does sound bad. I need to know more, right? Well, what does this mean? The other person who was really I've learned was really part of this was this character here, Gayfesh, was part of the army defending Keffels to not only get him off YouTube, but go and get him disbarred so he could never be a lawyer again. So what did he do? What caused all this problem? Okay, so here's the clip in question. I do have to bleep some of this, so stay tuned and get ready because I want to actually show you the context, but I can't say some of the words he says, so apologies for the bleeps. Here it is.
You deserve to be affected. And Keffels, you're giving life-changing treatments to minors? You go on the fucking wall right next to every other groomer, every other child molester, and every other fucking pedophile on the planet. You are disgusting. Let them turn 18. And make their decisions when they're legally capable. And if you can't do that, you should consider finding a steamroller to let run over you. You fucking disgusting pile of shit.
All right, there it is. Now, my opinion on his statement doesn't matter because let's talk about the facts. Let's talk about the accusation. when did he say he was going to S her? I mean, the jump to implication of what Keffels is now saying, and Manny did. He had a bunch of people got on it. Nick even had a really good debate. I would encourage you guys to check out about this. This guy from Duncan McLeod, he was on the stream and had a big fight. Look up the debate between him and Nick. It's epic. But my point being, like, this statement's a lie. He didn't say that. Now, I don't love what he said. But the wall, what's the wall? I mean, my first thing is Pink Floyd. Then I weirdly go to that Chris Hardwick show with the big wall. And then I think like Wall of Shame. Like my head's spinning on a million walls. Like what wall is he talking about? Now, sure, you could go to, I guess, the blank squad. Sure. But then I even like Googled it. Like with a wall. When the Urban Dictionary is like, well, when a woman's attractiveness starts to decline. Like, if you look up the wall and the meaning of the wall, it's like, it doesn't mean what Keffels says. Now, Keffels can take that interpretation, but it's not what he said. It's just not what he said. And so what's frustrating is literally something the guy didn't even say that's now been interpreted to that, but because they want to hear it as that, their own projections and assumptions. Now suddenly that's what this is. He didn't do this. In my opinion, I don't think Nick did that. So when Nick did that video got YouTube, struck it. But YouTube, he had to do something. I think he was back on, and YouTube, didn't shut him down for that. He was back online. What happened next was all these people who, on seemingly Keffels' request, without Keffels herself having the guts to do it, sort of sent her minions, it seems, and I've seen reports like that in Discord, apparently this was said, that Keffels was encouraging her fan base to go and get him disbarred, to go file, ethics violations to the bar since the YouTube thing didn't work. How can we really get him? So they were being vindictive. They were going after him, not only off of YouTube, but they were harassing his job. And then all the regular players were all there admitting that they were doing this, that they were setting these accounts just to help, just because they don't like him politically, because they don't agree. And I don't want to get into the whole political topic of hormone blockers, but it's a debate. It is a debate that people have, and they're allowed to have. And it's a heated one. And the fact that he has his own opinion on it doesn't mean he's a criminal, doesn't mean he did anything illegal, doesn't mean he did anything against the guidelines of YouTube. And that's what's so problematic about this. And then you see these people who are just happy. Yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it. Where you go to that strip mall back, like just laughing at his demise because these bullies won. This is what happens. And it's just scary because I don't really know enough about Keffels. I don't want to assume too much. But it's like I've looked a little bit. And I saw this video, which is a horrible thing that happened to her, apparently. And she set up a GoFundMe for being basically harassed and in danger and had to be in hiding because she was constantly getting doxxed. And the police apparently just did some horrific things. And I'm not saying it didn't happen, but she had to live in hiding. This was about a month or so ago. She raised $100,000 for this. And she's still raising money for this, because she has to be in hiding and I guess legal fees and the costs of I don't know what else, but she's hide. I was moving, was met, but then the hotel was getting doxxed, and now I'm in hiding. I'm keeping the GoFundMe up, but all the donations will go to my legal fund, which I'll be using to seek justice, whatever that is. And the only reason I call this out is because a lot of people have done it. She's going to TwitchCon. Like, this was tweeted today, I guess yesterday night. Hey, if there's enough people, we'll do some out of the con meetups. Otherwise, I'll just see you on the floor. It is weird. Like, aren't you? I thought she was in hiding. I don't understand. So look, I don't know enough, but I just know there's things like this out there that make people sort of question Keffels' intentions. She's a streamer and she calls people out, and she's, has culture wars against people and fights for these blockers and hormones for kids. And a lot of people don't like that. It makes them very uncomfortable. It makes them very upset. And they just really don't want that. And let's be clear, like, yeah, people are allowed to have that opinion. They are. Nick's allowed to have that opinion. So anyway, all this happened. And then what happened next was they filed these complaints to the Minnesota bar to try and get Nick Rekieta to lose his law license. Nick then didn't. I mean, it was like in a process because these things are seemingly a process, but he got the the paperwork has to be, it's all public filings when you do these. And he got the names and addresses of all the people who filed the complaints against him. These people didn't like the fact that Nick showed their names on his stream. Now, this is what the accusation of doxing was, that you doxed all my followers who sent complaints. Once those, in my opinion here, and I'm curious what you guys say, once they sent in those complaints, that became public record. Now, doxing is not illegal, for the record also. It's only illegal on platforms like YouTube, Twitter. You can't do it. To actually share public information of someone's name and address isn't a crime. It's just a crime against the platform, like the user guidelines. One important thing. Two, he didn't even release the addresses on YouTube. He redacted them. The addresses were hidden. He put the names out, and these were public documents that he was sharing. Secondly, he said, I'm going to share the unredacted version on my locals, which he set up. And I'll give you a link to that in a second. Here it is. It's on locals. Just look up Rekieta Law. This is where you can support him, etc. But he never did that. He never showed the addresses. I can't find any evidence of him doing on YouTube or locals. So YouTube removed him at the threat of revealing them, I guess, even though he never did. And that's why. That's what happened. He was defending himself against a bunch of people who were mass flagging and joining up to harass and destroy his livelihood for a statement he made that he never made. Literally, because he's now against trans people is how it's been spun by her and others. And using that as a way to just attack even further and harder. Because again, these are tough topics that people don't want to talk about. It's like nobody wants to go up against trans activists who's going to be there because it becomes big. Oh, well, then you're anti us. And that's just not what he said. What he said is he doesn't want this to, give those to minors. Let them wait till they're 18 to make their own decisions. That's not a crazy thought. I mean, you may disagree with it. You may think that's, uneducated or unfair and okay, but you got to give that person's allowed to have that feeling. And that's why we have different, politics and things. We don't always agree. But this has become a huge, massive culture war and a scary one because now she's a protected group. So therefore, she's the victim no matter what. Nick is the bully and Nick must be removed. Now, I don't love what Nick said, but I'm still going to defend him. Still going to defend him because he shouldn't have been deplatformed for it. I think he could have said things better. He streams for hours. He drinks. Like he gets uninhibited sometimes. He should be more careful. Maybe he should have gotten just like to take the stream down from YouTube. Maybe. But to completely nuke his channel, to go after him and his livelihood and try to disbar him? No way. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous and scary that I can't endorse it at all. No matter my differences of his opinions, they don't matter. My opinion on Keffels and the blockers and all, it doesn't matter. What did he say to get blocked? He didn't say this. This is nonsense. And then he didn't dox you. Also nonsense. But this is what it's being played out to all these people out there celebrating Nick's, exit off of the platform. Look, again, you don't have to like Nick. I don't always love what Nick says, but I respect his ability to have his own opinion and say what he wants. The platforms do have their rights, I guess, to do what they want, but I don't know, man. This seems incredibly hypocritical, ridiculous. The fact that YouTube and Twitter, all these platforms allow these groups and sometimes the boozies to just rally up a fan base of bullies and crazy people to just go shake up. Yeah, we're all going to do this at the same time. And that takes more precedence is frightening. It's really not okay. And I don't know why YouTube won't fix that. Like that system needs to be fixed. They need to realize that these mass flagging campaigns are not the way to do it. It's sort of the only way to do it currently, it seems, because YouTube does tend to stand up for creators. I mean, I've been hit a couple times and they've had my back. I know others that have had their things reinstated once you can get a hold of them. I don't want to be completely against Team YouTube here, but there's a system, an algorithm thing that these bots, these boozies, the Keffels, they know how to do it. You mass flag it and suddenly then YouTube takes it more seriously. And then the charges seem very severe when you see this. And you're like, oh, that's not good. Yeah, it's scary. And I stand by Nick on this. And if you stand by Nick on this and you want to go support him, he's over on Locals. So go to Locals, rekietalaw.locals.com. You can become a member, or you can just sign up to Locals and check his stuff out without paying. I guess it's like a Patreon type of site. I know he's also on Rumble and Odyssey are two other sites. And honestly, I've been looking into these sites too to sort of have an alternate view. So stay tuned and support us. You can always check out my link tree. It's in the comments as well. And I'll put Nick's as well, so you can support all of us to make sure that we are, if we get pushed off this platform by these crazy people, you have other methods to find me. And while I say that, also, I'm going to have a video uploading soon over there about my 5-year anniversary of being canceled, and some updates and a big news, big exclusive I'll be debuting over there about my life. So I hope you'll go subscribe there as well. We'll be live later today. Hope to see you during our live stream. We'll talk about this and so much more. We're here live every day. So I hope to see you here and become a Planeteer here on Popcorn Planet. And yes, I stand with Nick Rekieta on this. Get your channel back, dude. YouTube, wise up.